Well, welcome everybody to the Overtime Champions Season 4 match. And I'm new here. I'm Lemon Kiwi. Today, joined with me is Pulse behind the scenes as Morai on the producing desk. But you know way more about these teams. Pulse, take it away. Who do we have today?
So we have the Gucci gang in the blue going against the Superior in the red. Now, these two teams are looking to have just, a great start to the season. It's still early in the season. We're still trying to, get our feet wet, but Superior did make the playoffs in Season 3. So they have a little bit of a chip on the shoulder. They have something to prove here. They did lose. Citizens were the winners of the Season 3 playoffs. So they want to bounce back. They want to come back hard and just have a great start to the season.
Well, I think we got a great map to start out, and a little bit of different rules. There's actually a pick and ban phase where, at least for map 1, the referee, once the bans are set by both teams, the referee has chosen to bring us to Oasis in this best of 5. And now that these doors are unlocking, let's take a look at what these teams are running. Pulse, you see anything interesting here?
Yeah, well, at the start, there was a lot of, the meme hits coming out here. We had the Torbjorn, but, just the basic tank lines coming out here for this meta, at least. Zarya, Ryan, and look, they're going to start engaging, just exchanging pleasantries at the start.
Well, Make It Marais actually fighting through the mid side, but I like Polly's positioning as this Genji. He's already dove into the backline, uses reflex, has to get out though. Reinhardt a little bit too close for comfort, but you could see red side, Gucci gang has rotated towards the point, so they're in a good position, and they've even gotten the first pick onto Hawkeye, making the second one onto Foot Mob. Yes, these names are as interesting as his gameplay, but Gucci gang getting the first cap.
Yeah, they're gonna shut down the whole enemy team, and that's just a great rotation. They rotated onto the point. They used both those doors that lead into the point to their advantage, and they basically pincered their enemy team.
Yeah, great job at the start, an ultimate build up and a quick swap. Fire has made his way onto the Pharaoh role, knowing that, well, the only one that can contest him is at me, Oko, on that Hanzo, who's got the Dragon Strike pretty early in this fight. And now that actually Blue are pushing towards this hallway, this would be a great place to use that Dragon Strike, but now that they've started trickling out, you could still use it, but Polly finds already that first kill. Fire is second to go down. 2 players out for Superior, but they can go again.
Yeah, and I think the tank lines are being a little more aggressive than their DPS. They're not really on the same page right now. Look at that. They're just shutting them down. Their tanks are fighting another battle while their DPS and support lines getting dived in the back. And while they are going to try to turn this around and cap it, I don't know if they have enough firepower there. It's just the tanks, and they'll see if they fall here.
Yeah, Tim is the last one. Smart to keep that earth shatter. Is Fire maybe should have got communicated. Not a winnable situation. He's able to get out with his life, but going into the next fight, Superior, earth shatter, I mean, even a transcendence, but Gucci gang are stacked on ultimates.
Yeah, super stacked. They're going to have all 6 coming in, and this is just going to be a hard push, and you might just want to throw this push away, make it fast, make them use their ultimate so that when you have a second push, you can maybe win that fight, but they have to act quickly. It's already at 85%.
Yeah, this could very well be the last fight. Valkyrie in the sky from both these teams, and a dead eye going on, but hasn't really found much. Oh, that's a huge earth shutter. That got almost the whole entire team. The Transcendence does come out to save the rest of Superior. Tim, though, has gotten a huge pin onto Polly, and now this is the retake that Superior needed. And surprisingly, they won this fight after we had just talked that Gucci gang were stacked on ultimates.
Yeah, that's the caster's curse there, but there is no worries for the red team. They still have 3 ultimates to come out here and fight back with them, especially that Transcendence. And look at that opening pick on a Shibigity. That's huge. That's a DPS out, and it's 6v5 right now.
This is going to be the ghost sign here for Gucci gang, and they want to rely on air with that Graviton. Oh, but he gets pinned to another dimension there by Tim. This guy is such an aggressive. Reinhardt does get that Graviton at the last second, pairs it up with the Dragon Strike. Not the best use of it since, I mean, well, the kills went through right before the Dragon Strike. As Tim goes for another pin. It rhymes with his name for a reason. But Superior are missing numbers. It's going to be a retake for Gucci gang, but Fire does use the barrage, puts him in a vulnerable position, and overtime goes out 100-33 for Gucci gang on map 1.
Yeah, and I think they didn't really worry about, the little misplays on the ults there. They definitely knew they only needed to win one fight, so there's no point in saving resources, right? So I guess that was their mindset in that, and they are able to stomp out the competition and take this first point. And I just love the communication on the tank line. You know, every time you saw Tim be a little over aggressive, the whole tank line would just turn their attention to that Reinhardt that tried to dive into there, and great communication all around.
Oh, quick pause coming in. Technical one. Or maybe one to strategize one's approach to the second map. But Gucci Gang, I mean, pretty convincing map, 100 to 32. And at least there was a retake from Superior. There are signs of life. But, man, I think they need to enable Tim. I feel like whenever I watch Tim play, he's going for these pins and he's getting picks as the Reinhardt, but there's not really resources being dumped into him.
Yeah. That's something they really need to work on. They need to have the communication better. Like we pointed out earlier in the last match, the tank lines just didn't seem like they were in sync with the rest of the team. It felt like when Tim would go in, the support line wouldn't go in with them, and that could be the effects of maybe like a pharmacy. The Mercy wants to keep that Pharaoh alive because that's such a huge weapon. But you really need to kind of get your team on together and meshing well, and we need to start seeing just better play coming out from this team, communication-wise.
Well, I had the team names wrong. I think the last map. I apologize for that. So it's Superior that are up 1-0, correct? I think Gohan's
yes.
on Superior. Well, I fixed it, so now I'm actually on the same page. Because I had wrote down OO. Maybe OO is O-Fire. I don't know, but OO is missing from this match. He was on the team sheet.
Yeah, but we got some subs in.
Okay. Well, next map going up. This is a best of 5, so Superior are starting off hot with the 1-0. Leaving out the doors, they are bringing out the vanilla dive, while his Gucci Gang still sticking on the far Mercy, and they're going to pair that with a McCree, Roadhog, and a Reinhardt.
Yeah, and that's just the new meta. The new meta. We don't really see dive too often, but I kind of love seeing it now. It's a little bit of a treat because we don't really see it too often. And we'll see if they can make it work out. They just got to be careful with this Pharaoh.
Yeah, O-Fire will have an important job of just using that concussive blast to try and dislodge these players from the high ground, but he gets closed off from the back, and this is the back line is so exposed here for Gucci Gang. They're playing now towards the points, only one down, still a winnable situation, but now they're getting cornered from all sides. All Tim has to do is hold that left click, literally tape it down. Now you got the Mercy in his sights. Nice hook, but unfortunately that Mercy did not go down, so the first take for Superior.
Yeah, that was just. I think the opening pick was the difference maker there, and getting that Pharaoh out of the sky. Your sight lens go from in the sky to on the ground, and they took the high ground there, and they were able to just stomp out the whole entire dive.
Yeah, a bit of a disconnect in Gucci Gang's push indeed. They pushing left side, they had O-Fire sort of in the back, who now switches onto the Brigida, and I think this will mesh a lot better with the sort of death ball type of comp. Pauly here at the back, just a few percent away from the Dragon Blade, brings it out right towards the back, going after the tank, so has to be careful, and doesn't even get stunned, right? Going after that Mercy, Jigga stands no chance, as Superior will take another fight.
Yeah, that's just Pauly being confident. That's just Pauly saying, I know I'm close to my blade, and I'm just gonna wait here, wait for them to enter that door. And maybe he was still expecting the Pharaoh. He didn't know about the changes, maybe. And but that death ball comp really couldn't handle Genji in that backline, especially when the blade was activated. Oof, that was just devastating.
And Jigga now onto the Moira. Instead of a Mercy, wants to maybe have a more damage output, closer range healing. Mercy can be pretty vulnerable, but how engagement now towards the right side. Gucci Gang, though, have already lost 2, but Tim has gotten the kill onto the main tank. This is still a possible situation. The res, I think, got denied there from Supersonic, but the Transcendence is now committed here for Superior. They really want to win this fight, but losing their tanks, they're still rolling in kills, though, and that's on the back of Pauly.
Pauly is definitely carrying this team at this moment. Every opening pick to the fight has been by Pauly's hand. It's insane that how much of a downer that could be for a team. You're going into the fight, you're not even ready for the fight to begin, and you already lost someone. It's a 6v5, and that's just it's just panic time right now because it's 95%, and another blade coming in.
Pauly wants another kill, and he's going for more, but the Transcendence will stand in his way, and a retake somehow goes in for Gucci Gang, as Superior had stepped off the point, but that's 2 down, and mainly, Gucci Gang have taken out the enemy Mercy while also losing a Moira in the process, but this Zenyatta foot mob, man, he does not mess around, giving the stinky foot to everybody on the other team, but but Gucci Gang will get the retake and actually stabilize to hold the point.
That was just a scrappy fight there. There was a lot of trades going back and forth, and I just think it came down to who had the better numbers. And it seemed with the opening picks coming out there, Gucci Gang had the better numbers. And ooh, look at that pick, but another pulse bomb coming out here and a high noon. We'll see if it lands. Ooh, shut down.
Well, another engagement. Gucci Gang go in, but they have lost their McCree in the process. Huge Earth Shatter there from Tim. Getting that D-Mech will be huge. Winston is next on the hit list. He's able to jump out, forces out the Valkyrie from his fellow Mercy. But the players from Superior are separated, but they have still a Valkyrie in the air to keep them stabilized, but they need to play together as Polly has another blade. This is his third of this game, but does it have that much value as still Superior are struggling to get the retake? The number advantage here is still for Gucci.
This is just an insanely coordinated fight right here. I mean, look at that shatter. Tim may fall in that process, and ooh, Superior's trying to get their foot back in the door. But really, they just took the scattered Superior team and were able to shut them down. And they're trying to keep this Tracer alive. It's their only damage output here to survive against Polly and the Winston. And we'll see if this works out.
Well, this Tracer and Brigitte, they need to play together. Okay, they have at least used the Transcendence to buy themselves enough time. Keep in mind, if Gucci Gang lose this fight, this will be in Superior's map, but they have pushed this. It looks like this is going to be a 99 to 99% last fight coming in. Let's take a look at these ultimates because Gucci Gang, switched so many heroes. They're not going to have any ultimates coming into the next fight. Well, you got a Self-Destruct and a Transcendence from Superior. Polly just uses Blade, but he's probably going to have another one because it's Polly, right? Transcendence comes in here for Superior, and it does keep them alive. And look at the focus fire coming in from Superior. They're trying to take out Tim, but they lose a D-Mech. This self-destruct could be huge. Polly uses the Dragon Blade, already gets a double kill, taking out the main tanks. And I mean, you gotta count Brigitte as a tank, basically. Has now taken out officially all the tanks as Superior last cleanup, and they will take Oasis 100 to 99 on this last map.
Yeah, and they're gonna flip it here, and they're gonna use some ults to kind of, push them back, delay them, and like you said, that Polly kind of carried this team, put his team on his back, and I just love the support line coming out, especially Supersonic, who pocketed Polly at times, and he just gave Polly the space to be able to pop off, and I love how he's running that default skin. Only the best Genjis run the default skin.
Or your Smurfs, whichever one. But yeah, this was such a great blade. You already called it. This guy plays so ballsy. He's so crazy. And like when he went after the Brigitte, I was like, man, this guy has to be careful because Brigitte is just the kryptonite of a Genji with the bash kills. But I feel like Fire wasn't as threatening as I thought he would be with Brigitte being so strong right now.
Yeah, it's a new meta. It's the stun meta, and we aren't expecting dives to win out too much, especially when they are running that Brigitte, which is kind of the focal point of the stun meta. But they were able to win it out, and I just think that came down to good coordination. Like they were able to, Gucci Gang was able to retake the point and hold it for a very, very long time. They got it all the way to 99%. But I just think it was because Superior was kind of scattered. They didn't seem like they were communicating too well. And then once they were able to do a full-on reset, Superior kind of brush the cobwebs out of their mind, and they were able to pull it together and just have a great dive. And like you said, Polly just carried them.
Yeah, I guess the answer for Gucci Gang is to shut down Polly. As we head into map 2, we'll have a small delay because I guess Gucci Gang, since they are the losing team, will get to, how does this work? Oh yeah, the winning team bans a map, and then you tell me, how does this work again?
Yes, so the winning team gets to ban a map, and then it's the same thing as the intro pretty much. It's the winning team gets to go first, but we are going to get a sub. Shiv is coming out for OU, which was your confusion at the beginning. Fire was
Gucci Gang picks. There you go. Yeah, I was like, wait, where does the ref come in? That's only for the first map, but Gucci will get to pick map number 2, which will be an escort map. And this is to their advantage. You want to pick a map that you're best at. And we'll see maybe sometimes map 1 control maps are always like warm-ups for teams. You'll have teams get slaughtered, but then they improve as the series go on.
Yeah, especially when you're learning your enemy throughout the whole match. So, you're kind of recognizing, like you said, they definitely know that Polly has the potential to pop off, especially if he's given the space and the pocket from Supersonic. So they need to watch out for that. Maybe shut down Supersonic and maybe shut down Polly. You just got to figure out a way. And Genji is just that Polly's comfort pick, obviously. I mean, man, the potential to pop off there. So it looks like the pick might be Junkertown, yeah, and it will be Junkertown. So this is going to be a very, very interesting map. As on the attacker side, I think it has the most kind of. I'd say it has more options to select on what to run on attack than most escort maps. And because you could run the triple tank, you could run the dive, you could run just the death ball. It all depends on what your team is comfortable with, and we'll see how these teams run it.
Well, Gucci Gang choosing this map must mean that they have a lot of faith in their snipers. Junkertown, I think, is the most popular map when it comes to double sniper, the Hanzo Widow. And I wonder who that might be. I mean, I don't know these teams super well. Ofire has been a really sort of question mark DPS. I want to see if his sniper play is as good, or maybe he's not a sniper and they might go. I've seen some teams run this like Genji sniper sometimes, and it kind of depends, defense or offense. And I mean, you can play almost anything on Junkertown, but right now what's hot is double sniper.
Yeah, double sniper is just it creates so much space. You get picked, and as a shield tank, you don't really know which way to point your shield. You're kind of afraid, especially if it's double sniper. They could just take multiple angles and pick you off, and especially with Hanzo being super viable right now. Hanzo is his pick rate has raised like crazy, and that I think that might be the difference maker here is which DPS can create enough space for their tank line and their support line to kind of help them out and pop off.
Well, we'll see how this turns out on Junkertown. I'm kind of looking over the team sheets. I see Gucci Gang have Schvigity, love the name, and Jagmeyer, who both play McCree, so hit scan you would think they can easily flex to a Widowmaker. And Time is their designated Hanzo player, but he's not playing. So Owo says he plays anything, but he's also on the sub bench. So it's kind of a nice, yeah, you called it. He getting subbed in. Yes. So I mean, Owo can apparently play anything. So I mean, that is what a flex player does, but true.
Yeah. And Shavigity will be out, so no more
no more funny name. I didn't get to say it actually yet, so
oh well. Well, it looks like the teams are just about ready. We're going to be moving on to Junkertown here. And like you said, this map has just so many options for teams to pick offense and defense. We'll see if they, run the what's hot right now, which is, like you said, double snipers, or we'll see if they run death ball. There's just so many options here, and I'm super interested to see, especially with Hawkeye on that flex tank. That's the role I think is not focused on enough on this map. Zarya or Diva is like such a huge difference maker on this map. The amount of damage and the amount of defense that they could put out there is super important. And I think both teams should keep it vital, keep it in their mind. And we could even see possibly a pirate ship comp coming out.
Oh god,
we'll see.
I haven't seen that ship in so long, except in my ranked matches when people want to tell me. But and then also I'm interested to see how the defense is going to set up. Do they want to set up on the high ground, right below the bridge, or in the secondary defensive position near the staircase and crate side? And to keep in mind that that's like your one fight to win, and that's your best case scenario on point A, is to hold the defense there. While as holding a defense kind of near the doorway is extremely hard, a very open area, and if you let the snipers from the offense sort of get in a good position, it's so hard because then they can just snipe the windows, snipe the doorways, and it's hard to get out as the defense if you get pushed out.
Yeah, and OU coming out here on this defense, he said he could play any player, and he will start off with being the hit scan player, being the soldier. And that lets Ofire kind of move on to the Brigitte, and you could say they're running one DPS, but come on, Brigitte, it's kind of an everything at this point. Main tank, DPS at times, support, sometimes.
Brigitte is like the 1.5 tank or 0.5 tank. So it's like triple tank, it's like 3.5 tank, I like to call it. But Tim on this Reinhardt, bit of a surprising pick on Junkertown defense just because he's not a range tank. Usually you'll see Orisa because they can regenerate their shields much faster than a Reinhardt. And so Tim will want to harass the cart as much as he can. He wants to close that distance between the other team and have Ofire by his side with the Brigitte. While the offense coming out with a similar death ball, Reinhardt and Zarya, and double sniper.
Yeah, double sniper to create that space, but I doubt Tim will hold this high ground for too long. I suspect as soon as it comes close to him, he's going to drop down and kind of engage in a fight there, and they'll try to take on Killer Kel, which Tim is going to get a fire strike insta kill. That's the res used up, and we'll see the fight start to engage here.
Yeah, exactly. That there's only a Mercy on the offensive side, but this is what the defense want to do. Tim just holding the left click, and they have pushed Superior off the cart. But meanwhile, Pauly is at the back, and no one even knows he's there. Finally, Olo has spotted him out, and this will force Pauly out of position, and they are actually going to let him live, surprisingly. But Superior having a hard time setting their position on the payload.
Yeah, they need to rotate around them. Kind of surprise them. You're not going to win on a one-on-one fight. Pauly with a huge pick on the O-Fire. That's super important because now this whole team, look, they're all backing up. You lose a Brigitte, you just back up. You don't really want to take the frontline fight.
Oh, that Dragon Strike gonna go right into their position. Takes out Tim, who's already a bit low. And this is the ghost sign here for Killer Kel. Drops that Earth Shatter. And getting even a solo Earth Shatter into support is so much value. This will be point A for them, especially how far up that they're playing. Gucci Gang will set up their defensive position, hopefully on the high ground, and they'll have at least an advantage to start. But it actually looks like Gucci... Okay, I was gonna say, Gucci Gang, what y'all doing? Points lost. Okay, and they want to set up on the high ground. Tim didn't get that memo, though.
Yeah, it's, maybe a little miscommunication, but they do have 2 support ults, and they're about to get, the 3rd support ult and Brigitte with the rally and also the shatter. So we'll see how this defense plays it out, but watch out. Pauly has sights, so you're not really going to surprise this team.
And because the other team is running snipers, you want to stick behind Tim's shield, or at least the meaty body of Hawkeye on that Roadhog. But hopefully Olo can hold his own against the enemy Hanzo at Mioko. I gotta practice saying that name, but we won't move forward as a Graviton is available here for her, and everybody is set up here from the defense, just waiting for it to happen. And the rally is start off from the defense, and the ghost sign. Oh, the Earth Shatter doesn't get much though, but O-Fire will lead the way as the Brigitte, but has to disengage because his Reinhardt just fell.
Yeah, and you got to be careful because they still have Graviton surge with the Dragon, man. That's just the new season 10 meta for Overwatch. So you got to be careful. It's click Q to win. See if that's how it is here. Ooh, big shatter.
That's a good Transcendence though from Footmob. That'll keep them up maybe in this Dragon. Oh, they actually disperse at the end of the Graviton. So Dragon Strike, a bit mistiming there, but Air is actually on fire as the Zarya, very high charge, already getting so many kills for the team. Although the Graviton wasn't much, they got point B, that's all that matters. 5 minutes left.
Look at the pressure Air is putting on them. The door hasn't even opened yet, and he's there all by himself, just right-clicking, putting those bombs in there, pushing that team back, and they're all the way around the corner. And I assume as this team, that's where you're going to hold it. With the Brigitte and the Reinhardt, you do want to have a fight face-to-face, but with Hawkeye running this Roadhog, taking away that Grav, I mean, that's just such a huge thing to lose, especially with Air popping off like he is.
Well, Ola will have the Dragon Strike coming in, and this will be the perfect lane to set it up. Everybody is there in his sights, just waiting for the ghost sign. But having 2 of your members dead, maybe not the right time to pull it. They're actually going to retreat, give some free space here to Superior. O-Fire is pretty pushed up, has to be careful, but it is Hawkeye that goes down as the Dragon Strike set up near the backline. It does separate the Mercy and somehow catches her. That's pretty big.
That is huge. That might end out this push here, but Raquel does not want this to end. It's going to get as much distance as he can before this fight ends. And with the spawn advantage favoring the defense, I doubt this push will hold out for too much longer unless the respawns could come in. And yep, with the Reinhardt going down, I feel like a full reset is coming out.
Oh, and they're going to stagger Gohan. Oh, Pauly though. Yeah, and Gohan is still alive. How do you... Gohan. Okay, there you go. He got staggered pretty bad, and that Mikio needs to retreat. Not going to be a res opportunity there for Supersonic, but because of that sort of longer fight for Gucci Gang, they have quite a few ultimates, Rally, Dragon Strike, you name it. They have pretty much 5 on the board, while Superior have a Graviton Dragon Strike to work with, so really relying on Footmob to have the Transcendence, and even then you got the power boost from Supersonic that'll probably melt through it.
Yeah, but the goal right now is to get Footmob to pop that trans. You definitely want to get rid of it, and a rally's going to come out here, and ooh, Grav? We'll see.
Oh, Footmob wasn't even around to use a Transcendence, but it's still a winnable scenario. Hawkeye used the whole hog to build the space around the payload. Now he will be the front line along with Brigitte as the Dragon Strike right through the mid forces the Transcendence from Gohan. You see Superior starting to push back. They use so many ultimates, now using their own Dragon Strike right onto the payload. This could get Hawkeye here, and it does.
Ooh, yeah, that's a big opening pick. With O-Fire going down too, it's a 6v4 right now, and Poly went down, so it's a 5v4. So you really need to turn this into your advantage with Killer Kel bringing down Foot Mob. Tank will be traded with that kill, and they'll see if they could make this the winning push.
Oh, Killer Cal just getting so aggressive, and he needs to keep pressing that W button as Hawkeye has now switched to the D.Va. And now they're just holding this base defense. They don't really want to extend past the payload. And they also don't want to poke because you still got Polly on this Widow who's just kind of picking people apart as they go.
Yeah, and Killer Kel, the tanks are both back in action, but Polly and Gohan falling. I mean, you might just want to restart, but it looks like they're trying to commit to this fight because they just rezzed Polly, and with Killer Kel going down, I don't know if that was the right decision.
Yeah, they rezzed Polly, and Ofire got that main tank out of the way with a shield bash. As well, still 2 minutes to go though. Very winnable scenario for Superior coming up when they have at least the Graviton to work with. 30% off the Dragon Strike, they'll have to wait, but Foot Mob also has the Transcendence, and it's looking good also for Gucci Gang. Hard to say if Superior is going to finish this one off.
Yeah, Gucci Gang does have a lot of ults, especially a lot of stalling ults. They have Trans, they have Coalescence, and here comes the Dragon from Superior though, so they're just trying to create some space. Hawkeye is still delaying that point though, all by himself. We're back there. Ooh, that's going to be a fall, and Supersonic got caught in that Dragon. I don't know how that Dragon's coming from 2 miles away, but
that's like the second time that's happened to Supersonic though. Like trying to run away and somehow the tail end of that dragon just flicks the hair a little bit the wrong way. But what I want to say is Obo's Dragon Strike in a losing fight on Gucci Gang just cleared that entire payload and prevented any objective distance to be earned. So that was a pretty sick Dragon Strike.
Yeah, and with as long as these fights have been lasting, with a minute left, might have to say, unless the offense gets shut down pretty quickly, this might be their last fight, so they need to act on it quickly. They do have a Junkrat on the side of Gucci Gang now, so a lot of spam damage coming out.
Yeah, probably not having too much fun on that Widow. I mean, could get around Tim's shield, but thinks they want to spam through it. Oh, self-destruct right into the air. Killer Kel puts the shield up, but it still finds Supersonic. How does that Mercy keep dying? But that's a huge part of them gone, as Air uses a Graviton on only one person. Question mark.
Yeah. Well, Jigga's the only one left, so if they could shut him down, they could cap this point. They need to hurry before the spawns come out, and as I said, that Hawkeye will get back into this point with that fast-moving D.Va, and yep, all the respawns are gonna come out, and Air's just gonna fall all by himself.
Oh yeah, Foot Mob needs that Trent. Well, he doesn't need anything because that's a C9. But if it would have came down to them brawling on that payload, Foot Mob was about to get Transcendence, and I think with the respawns coming in, that would have bought enough time for Gucci Gang to get that number advantage anyway. But with 2 minutes left, Superior were not able to finish off a Junkertown, but it'll be their turn on the defense.
If Superior wants to win this match, Supersonic needs to get behind some shields. That's 3 ults we saw in this one half of a map that Supersonic got cut out. It's just little misplays, misplacements, and you really don't want that. As a Mercy, I'm a support player, so I'm just gonna come on and say it. As a Mercy, there's not really much you could work on mechanically. I mean, like you kind of just left click people.
You ain't wrong.
Yeah, and so the one thing you can work on as a Mercy is positioning, and that's something that should be a focus for Supersonic coming on this half of the map, is in that positioning. And we're playing for records now, and Superior wants to go back to the playoffs. If you want to make it there and you want to win the playoffs, you want to bring down Citizens, you definitely want to have a great positioning as a Mercy.
Well, to even up this series, Gucci Gang have to finish Junkertown, as in case you're new to the stream, control map on Oasis was taken by Superior, and unable to finish the map is a bit of a surprise to me. Maybe it was because Polly took so long to switch to a Junkrat, they didn't have enough shield break to bust through Gucci Gang's defense at the very end, but now he's sticking on that Junkrat. I think he's feeling a lot more confident.
Yeah, and on the side of defense, we have a May Junkrat DPS line coming out here, so I guess they're just going to try to create some space and cut off a big part of that map to let Polly just kind of spam damage.
5, 4, 3,
Well, the doors will be opening up, and Orisa, Brigida, and Roadhog. So a 2.5 tank setup, if you will. Only one sniper on their side, and the only sniper. Before it was 2 snipers versus 1, and now it's Owo, the only sniper on the map. As Killer Kel's shield is already pretty low, so they might disengaged to the secondary defensive position. Hair gets halted down, so he had to be careful, and Killer just got bashed, so somehow he stays alive.
Yeah, and that was just because the Supersonic was pocketing him. But Supersonic is at half health right now. But with Footmob going down, it's a 6v5. And as a defense, you might get a little confident here, push forward more than while you were just falling back beforehand. And look at Polly just shredding Tim's shields. Every time he puts it down, it always looks like it has a crack in it instantly.
Yeah, Polly's shield break is going to be so important for their defense, and this will be the final fight for them, at least on point A. Taking out Tim was big, though. Playing a little too close range to a Reinhardt and a Roadhog's not the best solution. Fire, though, will be next on the kill list, as at least they brought Polly back, and the defense will stabilize. They also have a Transcendence and a Blizzard to work with, and they're actually pushing them all the way to the spawn.
Yeah, look at Miko just popping off on this man. Just creating space with the wall and you know, just right clicking some picks. You know, you're practically a sniper with that right click.
Oh.
But Supersonic got the kill on the foot mob. I want to see a replay of that.
Oh god. Oh yeah, I guess our producer said he was flanking, so Supersonic, I mean, how many times you got a Mercy watching your flank? That's a good Mercy though. As a Riptire from Polly will be finding its way towards the left side. He wants to get to those juicy, wants to get at foot mob. Hawkeye wouldn't be the most ideal target. He's going to take a breather and he'll be right back up. But still a Blizzard and possibly an Earth Shatter to work with. But losing air, it's going to be a kind of a stiffle into Superior. The Supersonic tried to go for a Resurrect there and got caught in a Dragon Strike again.
Yeah, that's just another misplay. You need to know when the dragons come out. There's a huge sound cue, so you need to realize that the Blizzard is gonna save this for the defense. Though they lost, you know, some picks. They got a pick early. They lost a couple people, and with that Blizzard, they're able to turn it around. And I love how they didn't use all of their ult. You know, they still have a pretty good ult economy with half their team still holding it, 2 tanks and the Valkyrie. So they're still able to hold this for a long time, especially with Polly back in the fight.
Yeah, 1 minute 40, and this is looking good. Fire is now onto the fair, and we haven't seen this since Oasis Gardens, I believe. And he has yet to impress me, but I think this will be the moment since there's not really a counter on Superior's side. May is pretty hard of a hit scan, if you want to call it that. But Fire will be just landing rockets towards the backline, going after Gohan, weakening their backline as already 2 picks go through for Gucci Gang, and even the Supercharger. And sorry, I think that was a Valkyrie and Supercharger, but Transcendence now invested also from Gucci Gang, so lots of ultimates being thrown into this. This should be point A, only 4 members left of Superior.
Ooh, Supersonic tried to go for the res, and you know, they tried to protect her with the trans, but with the hook of Hawkeye, that's just gonna cancel that out. But Hawkeye's caught out all alone between the Zen and the Mei, and he will fall, and now they can pounce on the rest of the attacking team. And this was the push you wanted as the attackers. You wanted to win this, and you still might, because you know you got a lot of picks, and it's just Polly all by himself.
Oh, Hair is trying to push in a 1v6 when the payload's captured, and Supersonic's like, well, let's die together, I guess. Supersonic's like, nah, get me out of here. But point A earned for Gucci Gang, and now they got a bit of a 3-man stagger, looking good.
Yeah, looking good though. I'm assuming they'll make it practically to the end of the point. That's where the fight will be. But look how much time they took down. They got that first point, and they're already down to 2.5 minutes. I mean, that's pretty big. Yeah, I'm assuming we'll see an overtime fight.
And because they got that 3-man stagger, they'll have an advantageous position on this high ground, and already got the cart midway through, and you can see Superior are still trying to settle themselves on the defense. Killer's trying to hold the shield, and the Dragon Strike actually comes from behind from Owo. Is it going to catch air? But the Blizzard was also invested, so this is really good for Superior. Now they've gotten position onto the payload. They've taken out Hawkeye, and really the only people left are Footmob, Zenyatta, and this Far Mercy.
Yeah, pharmacy comp is it's something that'll work a lot, but it's just rough investing your Mercy into one person when that just takes away so much healing, especially with your tanks on the front line. I mean, you saw Tim went down to the Blizzard, you know, at Meko just kind of well, I don't actually know what I just said there. But the Mei waited until you know, all of Orisa's abilities were gone to kind of Blizzard, and Orisa is just a big walking horse at that point. There's nothing we can really do against it.
Miyoko always uses Blizzard and like when they're in a losing fight because they're just aggressing onto them, and then we're like, well, you're gonna walk into my Blizzard, so how about that? Gucci Gang though coming in through this doorway opens them up for an Earth Shatter. No Fire's down onto the ground. This would be the person you'd want to kill. Actually, Polly switches to the Widow and snipes him out of the air. That's a counter to Pharaoh for you.
Yeah, and now that's a great solution. You know, often we'll see teams in OTC kind of run their head into a wall. They'll run a comp that isn't working constantly over and over again against an enemy team that clearly is more comfortable. And I love it when I see comp changes because I just know the team is thinking, you know. Gucci Gang switched over to that Pharah, and so Superior responded by making Polly go onto that Widow, and she already has sights, so she could see where everybody is at this moment.
And Ofar doesn't really want to get off that Pharah because he has Barrage. You know, when you have the ultimate, you know, he spends so much time in getting that. I know it must be tough, but Polly on this right window here is got sights on whoever is going to be coming out of that corner. Could fairly easily see Polly get a pick here, but meanwhile the offense have been pushing the payload, and it's going to force Superior to come down, and now Miyoko freezing these tanks will force Footmod to bring the Transcendence to just keep them alive. As a 3v3 going on to the payload, this is Superior's chance to fight back, have him to use that Transcendence. Now a Dragon Strike used from OWO will punish that grouping from Superior, and this should be point B for Gucci Gang.
Yeah, Superior switched off that Hanzo, so you kind of lose that Dragon Strike in there. Took advantage of that, but Polly does not want this push to wants this push to end super hardcore, and the May will.
No one cares about Polly.
Exactly.
Like, he's 2 health and no one's killing him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's killed 3 people, no one's killing Polly.
Man, look at that. The May will kind of just shut down the Roadhog ultimate, and that'll be the end of that one. And Superior will won this.
I don't even know what to say. That was a 2v6 with Polly and, what is it, like a Mercy alive or something like that? And Polly killed 3 people and turned that fight by himself. And are we really surprised? Because he kind of did the same thing as Genji on Oasis, so Polly's crazy.
Polly just is insane. the DPS that'll carry this team, but the play will go to Owu as great shot out there, and the Dragon onto the card that will get Supersonic for some reason. But hey, that's okay. Superior still won it out despite Supersonic's misplays here and there, and that was a great match all around. And like we said, Polly kind of saved this team a lot.
Yeah, that was good. Superior now leading the series 2-0, I believe, in this best of 5 after holding that defense. And we're a little bit worried about them not finishing Junkertown, as it's usually every other match I see Junkertown, it's like extra innings times 3. You got 6 minutes left. You never get stopped on Junkertown, and you go into 2, 4, 6 points in. But Gucci Gang, I mean, what do you think was the main problem in point B? They kind of took a long time at point A, but point B was weird, right?
Yeah, point B was super weird. Every time it felt like, you know, Gucci Gang won a fight, they weren't really paying attention to, you know, the last Superior person, you know, being alive, whether that was the May or Widowmaker from Polly. It just seemed like, you know, there was no kind of coordination. They fought the fight on the front lines, but if there was someone who wasn't on the front lines, they weren't paying attention, and that was kind of their downfall there, especially Ofire. You know, I like the switch onto Pharah. I think that was a good switch from Ofire. But once Polly, who's proven himself to, you know, kind of carry this team, switched onto that Widowmaker, which is a great counter to Pharah, that's just dangerous. You know, you kept running just against the Pharah, who would just look to the sky and find the only person there and take him out.
Yeah, and OWO, I think, did really well on that map with his placements of Dragon Strikes to zone out the lanes, especially on the payload. Wasn't using it to kind of get rid of people on flank positions or clear a side lane. He always used it on the payload, and I think that's when they got the most progress for Gucci Gang. But the issue is Polly. He's like the secret weapon, and I mean secret because Gucci Gang forgot he existed.
Yeah, he's not secret to us. We've been pointing him out through this whole match, but Gucci Gang just kind of forgets he exists, and he'll just rotate behind them and take him out. Especially, I love when they were running on Oasis and they deathballed in, and as Polly on that Genji just kind of waited there, just kind of waited for the whole team to pass him, and got the back line first, and then got that blade, and that's just huge. You know, Polly just has that potential to pop off, and I love that on the Widowmaker. When Polly had sights, they were scared. They didn't really want to. They waited out the whole ultimate, and they didn't really engage during that whole fight. And that bought them a good, 25, 30 seconds.
And that's, I mean, Gucci Gang, when they lose these fights, they lose that advantageous position of, for example, Superior were setting up in the top right window, they had top left, and they had bottom. So Gucci Gang, I mean, somebody like Owa would have to try and find Polly, and Polly was all over the place, always finding angles around the shield of, I think it was Tim. So And just like I said, we already kind of nailed it on the head of the crucial mistake of letting Polly live when they should have gotten point B. And who knows what the future would have held for Gucci Gang going into point C with the time that they had.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, and I feel like Gucci Gang is a very momentum-based team. You know, like you said, when they got the first point, they had a 3-man stagger, and they practically moved it the whole way. You know, not getting 100% of the way, but they moved it, I'd say, about like 80% of the way, and that's because they just carried that momentum. You know, they got the first point, and they carried that momentum all throughout. But if Superior is able to kind of shut down the momentum, you know, take that chip off their shoulder and just kind of, you know, shut down the whole push, I feel like Gucci Gang just has a hard time getting back into the swing of things.
Well, this could be the final map for them. 2-0 for Superior, and we are going into Hollywood for a possibly final hybrid map. But this is, again, Gucci Gang's choice. So they're picking their maps that they're best at, and it got kind of close. They were able to stop Superior on their offense, and now hopefully they can have a good offense of their own.
Yeah, and you know, Gucci Gang has showed potential to win. They won a lot of fights against Superior, and you know, if they just fix a couple minor things, we can see a reverse sweep. It's going to be a very tough task against Superior, but it's possible. It's 100% possible, and we'll just have to see if they're able to kind of push it back to the ultimate task. I'd say in best of fives, reverse sweeping is one of the hardest things you can possibly do. You cannot make a single mistake, or you know, one mistake could cost you the game. They have a tough task ahead of them, but they're gonna come out and try their best.
Of course, and it's, you know, it's hard to reverse sweep because that morale being down 2-0 is kind of hard, and it's not even just being frustrated, making micro mistakes in your own gameplay, but where does the communication go in there? Is Gucci Gang a type of team that can stabilize sort of emotionally after going down 2 maps? Can they forgive and forget and go into map 3 fresh? And they will be on the defense, I believe. So this is their strongest suit.
Yeah, and that was a little odd. I was a bit confused there just because the defense team kept switching up their hero pool, and I thought maybe they were their attackers messing around in spawn, but the attackers are the one that kind of picked their heroes first and stabilized there. And while I don't think they'll keep that comp on attack, on defense, they are committed to running this May and the Reaper comp, so we'll see. It kind of seems like a frontline fight, and that was their downfall last time. You know, on defense, they didn't run the Arisa to hold the high ground. They ran the Reinhardt for Tim, and that was I think their downfall is because they tried to take every fight up close. And you know, if you lose a fight up close, you lose the point. You lose, you know, on escort, or you lose the distance, and it'll be a rough. So we'll see if they can pull it out here.
Well, out the doors, we'll see if they can pull it off. Superior are on their death ball grind. They got the Hanzo and Polly on the Genji, which scary Genji already making his way to, he's a very scary Genji, already at the top part of the map, but waiting for his team to make the space. It's Killer, I mean, just disengaging, waiting to break that shield. Polly's already half, though. He's making his way to the top right high ground. The space is built here for Superior. Now they need to engage.
Yeah, and I love how as soon as Killer was hooked, ooh, Tim will fall there, and look, I think they're all about to fall here, because losing your main tank early, especially when they take the fight up close, is huge. But we'll try to create some space, but we'll fall as well, and that'll be a very, very quick point A. But as I was saying, I love how the communication was coming out there in Superior. You could tell just because as soon as Killer was hooked as by Hawkeye, ooh, we're gonna have a pause here, but as soon as Hawkeye hooked Killer, you know, the bubble went onto him by air, and that's just, you know, that you could tell a team has communication like that, especially when you're running a death ball, you know, I think death ball and dive just require a lot more communication than some comps do, like and I just love it. I love seeing teams kind of in sync and synergizing with each other, and it is a disconnect here, so it may be a little while till we unpause. We'll just have to wait and see.
Well, and also part of that offense for Superior is Polly was able to infiltrate that top house in the back and get that kill onto Foot Mob. And this, I think, kind of maybe confused Gucci Gang, because now you either, okay, do you worry about Polly or do you focus on your front line? And that's just the power of flankers that kind of mess up your positioning, mess up your mental communication state, whatever it might be. And then it was at Miyoko who not only took out Tim at the beginning, but I think he got a second kill as well. So at Miyoko has a lot of punish potential as that Hanzo focusing on the front line.
Yeah, on paper, Overwatch doesn't really look like a psychological game, but at times it really, really is. You know, a really scary DPS player like Polly could kind of mess up your whole groove. You're constantly on the lookout for him. You're very scared about whatever he's doing, and sometimes it can make you do, you know, rash and sometimes dumb decisions for your team. And that, I think that's what Polly's doing. It's not only, you know, he's not only popping off physically, but he's popping off mentally.
Well, bit waiting. 5 minutes. Go find a sub.
Yeah. So
Well,
5 minutes. That's a long time.
and it's their DPS player, which is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah. Fire
But at least they had already lost the point, so I mean, they have some time to reestablish, go on that high ground, get settled.
there.
Oh, Fire's back. There you go. I think he was on Reaper, so wonder if he'll make the switch now that the point is lost. Because I think he plays a lot of Pharah, right? And that's pretty solid for Hollywood. I mean, Reaper can't really. Well, I guess he can teleport up there, but we'll see what he ends up picking now that he's back.
Yeah, and you know, Fire. If they do switch on, if he does switch on to that there, you can imagine, you know, Jigga also switching on to that Mercy, just to kind of, you know, pharmacying him. But I can also, you know,
He's got coalescence
imagine the
though.
counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can imagine the counter pick of Polly switching on to
Oh,
Widow, and ooh, air going down. That's they're pushing really, really hardcore right now.
yeah. Superior going towards the right side, and here was able to get resurrected, but right in the hammer of Tim, who just barely misses that pin. And now Polly is just so overextended that he's gonna go down. But that they at least has built a couple meters here for Superior, and as we called it, Fire on that Pharah is gonna dominate the skies, and the only person to go after him is at Miyoko, since Superior are not running a dive, so they can't really go onto that high ground.
Yeah, and look at all the ultimates. They have a 6-stack pretty much of ultimates coming out for Superior, so this could be a scary. Oh, a shatter block. I don't know if you use that in that situation.
Killer's got his one. His or shatter. Just waiting for it. Ah, I thought Tim was gonna maybe drop the shield, but he gets pinned. Oh my god. Okay, both Reinhardts are out. Only the off tanks will battle it. And actually here gets. Oh my god, he got hooked and somehow survived that. But this is Polly in the back doing his Polly thing with the Dragon Blade. Goes after Jigga, but Full Mob decides to use the Transcendence to save his backline, but actually does nothing and dies.
Yeah, he somehow got the kill through the Transcendence. I mean, I saw Jigga was still standing in that circle, so I guess the healing just wasn't there enough. And I love how, like I said, they still didn't use all of their ultimates. They still have the Dragon Surge combination, and that's very, very dangerous.
The Graviton Dragon Strike, and do they want to invest it here at point B? This looks like already a one fight, a bit of a split push coming out of Gucci Gang toward, and actually why are Superior disengaging here? You want to push forward, but they got the pick on the O-Fire, so this will be the ghost sign. At Miyoko's on this top right side on top of Bank, or sorry, called this jail, and now they're at the top, and there's the Dragon Strike combination. Blizzard was sent out of the back, but it's only going to catch Supersonic, and it doesn't matter when everybody's dead.
Yeah, and I think the reason they were disengaging is because O-Fire was just creating a lot of space on that Pharah, and they were waiting for, you know, at Miyoko to take him out of the skies. And as soon as that was, like you said, that was the go sign, and they started to engage, and they used the Dragon Surge. And at Miyoko will not let up. They will not let the defense restart.
Ooh, nice pin from Killer, taking out Hawkeye there. And Superior have at least secured their base here at the beginning of point C, or alien area. See, I'd be bad at callouts in teams, to be honest. I call this aliens. But now they're just kind of getting some free space, building up towards ultimates. Polly almost has another Dragon Blade, and somehow he can cut through Transcendence. There's enough burst damage to follow up with that. This Killer Kel will be leading the way with the Earth Shatter. Tim also will have his Earth Shatter, so this will be a tale of two Reinhardts.
Yeah, and if Tim can land, you know, a pretty huge Earth Shatter, you can imagine O-Fire is going to follow that up with the barrage. So we'll see. And like you said, it all just depends on which one can land the ults better. But oh my gosh,
Polly.
Miyoko will hand out Outfire.
Polly at the back already finds Oro going right after the supports, finds one, just has Jigga left to go, and Killer Kel's right behind him with the hammer as Superior got the success or the win in their sights. And they do secure the end of Hollywood with, I think, almost 3 minutes left.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive showing. They just had better communication. That felt like Superior just kind of knew when to. Oh my gosh, almost 4 minutes.
I saw the 3.
They have a big time bank, and That's practically the time the game gives you. The game gives you 4 minutes, and they were able to match that pretty much. And that's just great communication coming out here on a team that going against a team that you could already tell that they crumble under pressure. Gucci Gang does, and Superior just knows to if you keep putting pressure on them, they're gonna panic. And I love how even after they got the second point, they were still pushing in before the doors even opened and the point was moving. They were still kind of pushing them back into spawn. And like I said, they didn't let the defense restart at all. So a mirror comp coming out of the defense here. It seems like Air might switch out, and Air is on the Widow for some reason.
But yeah, Gucci Gang had a kind of a messed up backline to begin with. They had the Zenyatta on the right side, they had a Junkrat on the left, they had Moira somewhere in the middle. So it was easy for Pauly to divide and conquer with that Dragon Blade. And Killer Kill, I think he's Killer Kill and Tim, very capable Reinhardts, but I think what Gucci Gang need to do is solidify their backline. It's always their weakest point, and that's where Pauly likes to go and mess around.
Yeah, and with like Genji just having that mobility and having a scary Dragon Blade getting into that backline is so huge. It'll pretty much end out a whole team if you get into this backline. Yeah, essentially it'll just end a whole team's push.
Superior with the 4-minute time bank now have to hold the defense, and they have chosen the Hanzo and Genji, which is, I believe, what they ran even on their offense. And Gucci Gang completely switching things up if this is serious. Reinhardt and Diva. But what I'm interested in is O-Fire on the Sombra. I haven't seen Sombra in the meta in a little while. And O on the Soldier, kind of a tough one.
Yeah, Sombra had such a bright little spark of being in the meta for like a good month or two, and then got nerfed. But that's okay. That's okay, and so we'll see if they. I love how the Superior is kind of pushing that defense. They're being super aggressive, and a double charge. So we'll see if Tim will fall here. No, and they were able to land the sleep on the killer, so that'll be a reset.
I don't think Jigga lasted that long in the Brigida. Back onto the Mercy. They won't have those resurrects for those oopsie moments. And Killer Cal being pretty low, I mean, this is still not the opportunity for Gucci Gang to engage without all of their numbers alive, but like you said, Superior playing such an aggressive forward defense, even staggering O-Fire from the next fight. But Superior will have the Dragon Strike Graviton combo, while as Gucci Gang, because they had so many support switches, only have a Nano.
Yeah, and they'll use it on Tim, but look, they'll just stagger it out by using the ground surge combination. And oof.
Nice quad.
But I feel like we haven't really talked about it too much, but Amioko is a really good Hanzo. Often we'll see him get like a pick in there, and Pauly.
Oh my God, this is BM though.
Yeah, this is kind of just, a little disrespect play, like kind of saying like, I'll invest the Dragon Blade here, and you still have the Trans and the Shatter coming out for Superior, so there's a lot of delays, a lot of zoning ults that you can use, a lot of ults to extend the fight and make it longer. And as a defense, the longer a fight goes, the more it swings in your favor.
Well, both Reinhardts know that each other have Earth Shatter, so this is why Superior is starting to disengage. They don't want to have anybody outside the shield. Pauly's in the back, and honestly, I'm Tim. I'm solo shattering Pauly the heck out of this planet. Okay, Owo's gonna get him, so that's already a huge kill. But they lose their DPS in the process, 5-5. Owo at the top with attack visor, power boosted and healed. This guy is killing everything, and this is what Gucci Gang needed to get onto the point. Now, only 2 tanks remain here for Superior, and here is about to get a Graviton. Probably will die. Yeah. Unfortunate.
Knew when to pop off their tanks, and their backline were kind of separated. The DPS and the supports were all alone, and there's no shields to protect you from that. And Pauly's gonna dive in.
Pauly? He's memeing.
About a couple seconds for his team, I guess, but
by like 3% on his ult. I don't know.
Got his got his team down. His team was down, and he said he wanted to carry.
Well, he did carry there. I'm just wondering how the heck did he get onto that high ground? Because you have to go all the way around and onto the point and up the stairs. And, well, actually, there's a staircase to the left also. So I guess he somehow snuck through there. But that was a huge tack visor. I was a little worried about the soldier because he can't get onto that high ground that easily. And he's still sticking onto it. As Assault Destruct sent right into the back. Graviton used in exchange. And Supersonic always gets caught by these random ultimates.
You know, an ultimate, I think that's not gonna. It's just a zoning ultimate. Oh, always supersonic.
We go again, as our producer said. Gucci Gang. Gucci Gang though won that fight. They got halfway to point B, and Polly's doing Polly things and throwing, I guess. Oh. Dude, he reflected that direct rocket though. Oh my god. Oh, Fire needs to go sit down.
There is no, I don't think there is any too much panic coming out here. They have a lot of ults to kind of continue to fight. Like you said, Trans could make, you know, buy your team a good 20 seconds, and with 2 minutes left, that's huge. Oh, a huge shatter.
Even huger. Gonna get Tim out of the picture. Now they're following through, getting that DMAC onto Hawkeye, and Fire just has to back away from that. That does not look fun.
No, it really doesn't. That's rough. As soon as Tim dropped that shield, Killer found his opportunity and just kind of dropped it on them. And that was a, what was it? It was a triple shatter, quad shatter.
I don't know. It was huge though, and you said huge. I agree, very huge. But Superior though, we'll be setting up maybe a final defense. Minute and 40, and it's taken a while for fights to go on. Zamiyoko, Dragon Strike, you got 2 DPS ultimates on board for Superior, mainly Polly. He's gonna want to tickle the back with his blade, see who he can get his eyes on. But Football playing Ana, I mean, you gotta be worried about these Mercies, but I'm convinced there is no counter to Polly, because I thought Fire on the spare would be a counter, but then he got his rockets reflected and killed by Polly. So...
And then the Dragon will come to point, and it'll find Foot Mob somehow. I don't know how these can found out here, but
Fire! It's big! Self-destruct! It's bigger!
Ooh, it's bigger! And that'll be point B for Gucci Gang, and they used a lot of ultimates in that fight. They really wanted to win that, and they invested so much into it, and they'll get, you know, they'll push the time up to 2.5, so they can't match Superior's time no matter what, but they'll still try to push it all the way.
It only took 75% of your ultimates, of their ultimates. What do you mean? But 2 minutes and 15 left, and like you said, and Superior have at Miyoko on this high ground. This will be a good position for him. And Gucci Gang though have the nano, probably gonna place that onto Tim again. Angry Reinhardt's are pretty messed up to deal with, because Oa is not gonna have the tag visor. Maybe not want to place it on him. Fire already used the barrage, but now just building on breaking that shield. Air is very low. Yeah, it was pushed up past the shield. Polly did get anti-healed, so this blade is too risky.
Yeah, it is a little risky. You wanna... I would have kind of waited until the team got a little bit closer to you, but that pharmacy, I think, is displacing a couple people here, because Superior seemed like lost for words, and you might see Polly after using that blade, and maybe after he dies switch onto that Widow just to shut him down. But we'll see here as this point's getting close, and Tim is gonna get empowered. And he looked a little surprised there. His shield was up and he wasn't close to anyone, and we'll see. Ooh, he is gonna get Killer.
Yeah, the increase of heart rate that you get when you get nanoed without consent. It's like, oh my god, left click. And meanwhile, Polly is kind of harassing Owo here, so this is stifling already the offense, and what's even worse is a Dragon Strike on your face, so there goes the entire team of Gucci Gang.
Oh.
Aw, feels bad.
Well, that'll end up the attack, and they'll push the enemy team way far back, and the only thing they really have left, I mean, they have Valkyrie, and they have actually, I'd say they're close to a lot of ults, but they really need to find a way in there, and that's gonna be a huge stagger as Killer's gonna shatter them and buy their team a couple seconds, but always gonna try to rotate around and find someone who's not out there.
That's the Earth Shatter and run away strategy that I've seen so much. It's the Earth Shatter and okay, we gotta go back. We go again, and now they're pushing back towards their own spawn. They're realizing that Gucci Gang are playing serious now with 4 ultimates on the board. Fire going down. Hawkeye gets the nano, and that's something you don't see every day. But at least Kell's shield is pretty low. Lots of damage coming out of Hawkeye, but Polly gets slapped in the middle of the blade. Oh my god, and he gets a solo barrage. That's so BM.
Yeah, and look at that triple shatter, but that Transcendence is going to save the team there, and another Dragon coming out there, and that is going to be a C9. Superior will win this out 3-0.
Is it a C9 if you get Earth Shattered away from the payload?
I mean, the Mercy was Valkyrie. He could touch.
Nah. Valkyrie's only for healing.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is going to be the bomb. This is going to be the double bomb, then the air goes down, and yep, this will be the bomb. Again, the back line. Both of them, yeah. Supersonic was running
Poor
away.
guy, man.
Inside your screen. I don't
It's
know.
the worst.
Well, it's a hard
3-0 win.
for Mercy.
Yeah, 3-0 win for Superior in this best of 5, and congratulations to them. It was a pretty good fight from Gucci Gang, to say the least. And
Yeah.
Polly is crazy, and I won't tell you that sleep from Foot Mob. I was waiting for it. I was like, if you're gonna play Anna, you gotta sleep Polly out at least once. He knows he wants support blood, and you gotta sleep him.
Yeah, and you know, from Gucci Gang, it's just minor things that they fix in order to be, you know, on that level of Superior. There was a lot of close fights there. It's just, you know, tiny things here and there that we've pointed out that they need to fix. And as the teams are going to file out here, we will end out the stream. It was a great fight all around.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, Chad, I see you. You're gonna clip all the times we say Gucci Gang, and you're gonna make the song, the one lyric song, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, and then like with all the inflections and everything. I'd
Yeah.
love it.
I would love that too. I'd love to see that coming out here. But that was a OTC match. Gucci Gang versus Superior. Superior with the clean 3-0 sweep. They got to be feeling pretty proud of that. And their early season is off to a great start. They're trying to make that playoff push again. And Gucci Gang just has, you know, some minor things to work on. And it seems like, you know, these two teams are super close. But thanks for joining us today. We got more matches coming at you. You know, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Wednesday.
And the day after that. And
Yeah.
the day after that.
We got a lot of matches. And All-Star games are on Sunday, which I will be casting with Klitschke. So, yay.
Yay.
All
Well,
thanks
thank you
thanks for
guys.
joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching the stream. Thanks for Morai for producing. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you later.